Hi. Besides my work at the F.A. Davis Publishing Company, I also teach a course at Arcadia University, Writing for the Health Industry. And this short video is really for those students, but it has to do with something that you may find useful as well. I gave an assignment to the students, and I asked them to, if they had a high reading level in a paper they'd already written, to bring it down 2 grades using the SMOG calculator. SMOG stands for Simple Measure of Gobbledygook. And it's probably the best reading level indicator there is for technical writing of the kind that my students do, and also that the kind my authors do. And I asked them, as I say, to bring the reading level down if it was over 12th grade. And several of them who had to do that said that they had to dumb down their text, their sample. I had to dumb it down. I was dumbing it down. I hate that term. I hate it. Certainly you can dumb down a piece of content, a piece of writing. But most of the time, when you're bringing a piece of writing from the high reading level to a lower reading level, you are forced to make your writing more efficient, to make it clearer, and in many cases stronger. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. You probably all know people who authors, writers who write in big words. You know, you can't pick up the New Yorker as an example, or Atlantic Monthly, without reading someone's prose, lots and lots of big words. And there's nothing wrong with that, not at all, because they're written at a very high reading level. That's where you want them, actually. But in many instances, writing that has a lot of big words, that allows the writer to hide behind the meaning, to hide behind the words. Because when you really dig into some of that and really try to figure out what any particular sentence is saying, you find yourself going, you know, I don't really know what that means. It's so convoluted with so many, with nouns strung together and adjectives strung together and lots of adverbs. And that kind of writing, it may score very well on a reading level test, very high, but it's not clear writing. I'm not talking here about medical terminology. Certainly any technical writing, you have to use big terms. You can't use diabetic ketoacidosis. You can't not use a word like that when that's the diagnosis you're talking about. Esophagitis, things that a normal dictionary and a normal reading level calculator might not understand. So you get a higher reading level purely because of the terminology. What I'm talking about are words that, as William Zinsser once said, or he espouses this point of view anyway, never use a 5-syllable word when you can use 4. Never use a 4-syllable word when you can use a 3-syllable word, and so on down the line. And every time you use a highly syllabic word, polysyllabic, I should say, you run several risks. First of all, you run the risk that the reader's not going to know what you're talking about. Secondly, you run the risk that the true meaning of what you're trying to get across is lost. The reader may have an understanding of what a word is, but it's so easy to hide behind a highfalutin, a 50-cent word. So I urge my students, and I will urge you, think about that. Don't use, unless it's medical terminology, again, that's an exception. But don't use a 5-syllable word when you can use a 4, and a 4 when a 3, and a 3 and a 2. It really does, and it forces you to think how to make the writing clear, because you can't hide behind the big words. So keep an eye on the number of those syllables in the words, and obviously the number of sentences and the length of paragraphs. That certainly also plays a role. But I really wanted to get at the word choice today. Okay, I hope you have a good night. I'm not in my office right now, but have a good night and a great President's Day, which is tomorrow, and I'll see you soon.